Next is friend to the blog and star, capital S, capital T, capital A, capital R. Well-deserved of Steve Peters Week 2023. Coming in 2 weeks to an amok near you. Not you, Zipper.
I said I'd get my vengeance.
And there it is. Steve Peters, who is Kickstartering Tails of Sparky #4 right now, all caps. Yeah, it started September 5th, didn't it?
Yes.
Until Paula's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paula. Happy birthday to you. Just in case there isn't another, please hold for Dave Sim before October 5th, for those of you playing at home. Featuring in some capacity that the manly one isn't entirely clear on, Dave Sim's take on Steve Peters' Sparky as Dave Sim's Sparkybus. Insert image here. Yeah, I got the picture done. It was Steve, as you know, asked if I pay you $200. You talk about your mercenary blood feud. If I pay you $200, will you do a sketch that I can put in the back of Tails of Sparky #4? And yes, no problem. It was, I sat down right away to do that and almost got way too carried away on it, going, you know, it's a sketch now, but it could be a variant cover. If you just shrank the image down a little bit, and I thought you could put the Sim City logo on, the logo that we used a couple of times on Service in Hell with a question mark, Sin City parody. You never go too far wrong on Kickstarter doing a Frank Miller parody cover. So I'm gonna offer that as a suggestion that Steve could either Photoshop himself or engage the services of David Birdsong or Benjamin Hobbs to put a Sim City logo, Sim City featuring Sparkybus. And there you go, Steve Peters, Bob's your uncle. You would have a variant cover. Hope it sells 1 million copies. If not, the fallback position is Sparkybus penis. Steve Axe.
Well, let me interrupt for a second, because I, again, not knowing what Steve was going to do with this, sent him an email saying, what's your plan for the Dave Sparkybus? Because I'd be willing to pay the printing costs to print 75 8.5 by 11 double prints, so 2 prints per sheet, making 150 prints total, up in Kitchener, and the shipping from Dave to you after he signs and numbers them. You know, A, unless he has a better plan, and B, unless Dave says, not with this hand.
No, I'm fine.
And his response was, wow, that sounds great, but what's in it for you?
What part of this blood feud are you making your mercenary bucks on? And you answered.
I actually haven't answered because I'm like, well, it came in right before, it came in yesterday. I'm like, I'll discuss this with Dave, because if you're not willing to do it, it's the plan, it crashed on the tarmac. And what's in it for me is helping out Steve, celebrating Steve Peters Week, giving him something that he can throw on the Kickstarter for the week 3 lull, where all, the numbers are up, down, flat.
Right.
Kind of like what James Windsor Smith did with his Kickstarter with the variant cover and the prints. So I will let Steve know your offer. I will clarify why my offer, and then I'll see what he says, and then have to send emails to people and do work. And this is one of them. 8 a.m. Matt was gung-ho for this idea, and 8 p.m. Matt is going, I'm tired.
Who suggested this? He could do wallpaper. Take the Sparkybus image and duplicate it like 6 times, and do a Andy Warhol variant cover, and only print one of them. It's 1 out of 1, and then auction it on Amok, and see who ends up with the Andy Warhol Sparkybus.
I will give him that idea too. I mean, I can't. He's been posting updates, and the updates were, day 1 he was blown away, and day 2 there's a bit of a lull, and he's got a little stuffed Sparky that's like 3 inches tall, and it's a picture of the Sparky. The first one he's floored by the computer, and the second one he's on a pool float in the pool. And Steve's comment is, "I told him to just relax. You're new to Kickstarter. You don't know how this works."
Right. Don't get too excited, and don't get too depressed, because it's somewhere in between there, and we all go through it.
Right.
Here's something for Please Hold. If I didn't make it in time for September, you can save it for the next one. Hi, Dave. I wanted you to know how much I appreciated you talking about Mungu Mkono in response to my question earlier this year. Mungu Mkono, of course, is Swahili for God in the hand of God. At the time, I was heavily into recording that song, and your thoughts on the subject helped me to fill in the gaps I had in the lyrics. I finished a rough version of the lyrics before I stopped cold, because there was too much other capital I, important capital S stuff going on. In fact, that's what the song is all about. I had a life-changing decision to make, a Mungu Mkono moment. At a certain point, you have to trust in God to inspire you to make the right call, and know that He'll guide you through it. The quote, unquote parts don't translate, I suppose. Really need to actually hear the piece, but I thought I shouldn't take them out. Hope to finish the song soon. I always have many irons on the fire, but your help with the lyrics certainly came at the right time. So thanks again. And this brings us back full circle to the point that I was making about Dave Sim's relationship to music, which, if you will recall from a while ago, was that my relationship to music is about the same as most people's relationship to comics, where whatever level of interest that they have, it goes this far and stops dead. And I would cite as instances of that in the age of the DVD and the CD, when suddenly the music business abandoned the single. You couldn't go and buy a 45 that just had 2 sides to it and 2 songs. You had to buy the whole album. And being in the gravy time period that I was in, I did that a lot. But I was buying the single, but because you couldn't buy the single, I would buy the whole CD, but I would never listen to it, except for the song that I bought, because that was pretty much the extent of my interest in music. Was that's a pretty song. It's a pop song, usually more over in the direction of bubblegum, and I'm completely incurious, apart from the fact that I'll cite as two examples. I bought the CD, Laura Branigan. I forget the name of the album, and I bought it for the song Te Amo, which I understand that she won the Eurovision thing the one year with that one, and I just really like the song. I really like the song as a girl singing about the specific breakup kind of thing. And I had another breakup song, Joey by Concrete Blonde, and same deal. It's like, couldn't wait to buy the CD. I've got it. I can listen to it on my world-class CD player through the speakers or through the headphones. And what does the rest of the album sound like? It's like, I didn't buy it for the rest of the album. I didn't buy it because it's a Concrete Blonde album. I bought it for Joey, and that's it. That's the extent of my interest. And consequently, where are you here? Wait a minute, I got to dig through. Coming to the end of our show, Steve didn't clarify, but I think it's a 3/4 beat and a key of F. Take it away, Dave. I kid. We're not really doing Steve's song to the tune of the theme to the Andy Griffith Show. Actual title, The Fishing Hole. And they say these things aren't educational. Are we? Oh, man, we are. Okay, but I get to do the whistling. Is it actually called The Fishing Hole? Where did you find out that?
Ironically, 12-ish years ago when we had the baby, it was, the baby's sleeping, you can't have the TV loud, so I put the subtitles on. And, like, regular broadcast TV, put it on the closed captioning. And then if we watched a movie, put on the subtitles. So, like, the volume on my TV goes up to, like, I think 80 or 90s where it maxes out, and we never had it above 10. For I'm going to go with, I don't know, at least 5 years straight. Like, there were a few times we would turn it up because, okay, we really want to hear this. Most of the time it was the TV's quiet enough. I mean, if you're sitting quietly, you can hear it. But if the kid's babbling away, nope, you're going to be reading the TV. And have not turned the subtitles off. Now, people come over and ask us to turn them off, and we're like, okay, why? Well, it's distracting. What, you don't want to read? Incidentally, ironically, coincidentally, however you want to look at it, both my kids read at a grade... My first grader was reading at a 3.9 grade level when she got assessed. My 7th grader, the last time she got assessed, was off the charts. Like, both of my kids in grade school, the way they do it now is books are graded of A level, then B level, and you go up the alphabet. And when the rest of the class was at F, both my kids were around M. Like, they're beyond readers. And the teachers go, yeah, we don't understand. I'm like, well, see, when the baby was born, we couldn't have the TV loud because you can't wake up the baby. So I put the subtitles on. And so the kids have been reading unconsciously since they were old enough to realize, hey, there's a box in the corner that's got a picture on it. So...
And in a perfect world, that should go completely viral through our whole academic world of, look, everybody can do this. Do this. You're not going to stop watching television. So the kid grows up in a television world, but reading. And this is a win-win-win all the way around. But our schools don't work that way. We're not interested in actually teaching kids. We're interested in getting more money for teachers' unions and teachers' pension funds that could be going to education. But I interrupted.
Well, no, but so I told both kids' teachers at the first grade level when they're like, yeah, your kid's really advanced in reading. Like, we're worried because the level your daughter reads at, we don't have books that have age-appropriate content for them. And I'm going, well, and I explain the story, and I kind of, it's this, I don't blatantly say it, but like, you should suggest this to all your struggling readers tell their parents, turn on the subtitles. They'll start, it's an unconscious thing of, hey, because the other one that I've noticed with broadcast TV is the closed captioning services. Sometimes it's for a hearing impaired thing where there's specific hearing impaired deaf viewer shortcuts. It's like a shorthand that they'll put in the subtitle, and you'll be like, "That's not what they said," and it's, well, no, but this symbol means whatever word, and I'm going, that's kind of weird. But anyway, so I don't even remember what show it was, but there's a channel called Me TV that shows classic shows from the 60s and 70s. And there was some show that I liked that I would watch, and then it would end, and the Andy Griffith Show came on. And in the subtitles, when it would have a musical symbol, it would say, "The Fishing Hole." And I'm going, what? What is this? It's just whistling. And it turns out that, yeah, the name of the song is The Fishing Hole, and there's actually lyrics to the song that I found on the internet when I was double checking that I had the title right, and Andy Griffith sang the song with, and it's the tune we all know with the actual words sung by the guy whose show it is. I'm going, why didn't they use the lyrics in the title? And because it's much more classic to have him and Opie walking up to the fishing hole with their poles and walking back to town with no words.
Right. Which brings us to that's the beginning of their show. This is the end of our show. Can you whistle the Andy Griffith, The Fishing Hole?
Kinda? I mean,
I'm not a whistler.
I know the tune, and I can kind of whistle.
I'll try and help on my end. But,
I mean, it...
See, that...
I can't do it because I'm laughing. And now YouTube's going to put a copyright disclaimer on this video.
Have a good night, Matt. Say hi to Paula, and happy birthday again. Tell her to listen to her birthday wish from me, and to Janice Pearl, and to Natasha.
Have a good night, Dave, and God willing and the creek don't rise, we'll do this again next month.
Sounds good. Take care, Matt.
Take care, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Bye.